All right, I got this intro. You good?
I'm chewing food, so Jake's gonna intro this.
What's up, guys? Jake Hutton and Steve Cook from Fitness Culture. We both got new haircuts, so we figured that we'd do the video together today. All right, so we're gonna be starting a new series called Advanced Training Techniques. And what we're gonna be doing is basically just showing you some of the techniques that we use in the Fitness Culture app to help get our clients stronger. So the one we're gonna be talking about today is gonna be myotatic reps. And specifically, we're gonna be talking about a 1 1/4 variation on these reps. So these are a technique that we've used that's definitely helped a lot of our clients get stronger really fast. And it's also helped Steve when he came back from bodybuilding. So he'll talk about his story a little bit.
So I think one of the biggest things that I wanna relate to people out there is a lot of times when we get stuck in this whole going to the gym, 3 sets of 8, it's progressive overload, but you're not using as many of the advanced training principles as you really should be. So this is one that, like, growing up, to get stronger, you might focus on, but then you get kind of, you're not playing sports anymore and you're just concerned about looks and you forget it. But what you're forgetting is type 2 muscle fibers, those quick twitch ones. Those are gonna be great for explosive movements that will actually lend to a bigger, more muscular body. So you definitely don't wanna steer clear of these. I stopped doing this type of work for a long time, and when I started doing them again, I realized how profound of a difference they can make. So we're gonna be jumping into this today and really showing you guys some really cool techniques.
All right, guys, so we're gonna be talking about myotatic reps today, and basically that's just a fancy way of talking about your stretch reflex, right? So what we're doing with these 1 1/4 reps, and you can do them without the 1 1/4 reps, but the danger in that is gonna be if you use heavy weight coming down and just doing it's basically a barbell plyometric, and that's what we're gonna be doing on the bench press today. So if you come from a full lockout down, it's just gonna be a lot more dangerous. So the 1 1/4 variation on the bench press is great because you're able to use heavier weight and still tap into that stretch reflex by just pausing at a quarter, dropping down, and then exploding back up. Just my personal experience, I was plateaued at 475 on the bench press forever. Then after college, went to a combine training prep facility and we started doing these. This is where I was first introduced to these, and doing a progression of these, that's when I was finally able to bust through that plateau and actually bench over 500 pounds by utilizing this technique. All right, so the first exercise that we're gonna be showing you guys today is how to utilize this on the bench press. So Steve is gonna set up. A lot of the times on these reps when we're going a little bit heavier, we'll make sure that the client controls it on the way down, that first rep to the chest, and then he's gonna pause at a quarter and then just drop and overcome it straight up. For some people, it will bounce off your chest just a little bit, and if you wanna use a pad, you can to really let it bounce off your chest. But you really think about, like I said earlier, it's almost like a barbell plyometric. So you're just gonna drop like you would off a box jump or something. You're gonna drop and explode, right? You're gonna pause, drop, explode up, good. So as you notice, Steve was using a wide grip right now. What we usually do with our clients when they come into the app is do a close grip progression of this, and then gradually we'll take their hands out wider once they get closer to a max phase. And then obviously we're gonna take out that quarter rep, start working with heavier weights and build them up to a max. All right, the next thing we're gonna be showing you is how to utilize this in a back squat, because we do that a lot with our programming as well. So Steve was gonna control the weight down. Basically break parallel, come right back up above parallel, then drop down and explode up. Good. There's gonna be a lot more involved on the back squat, so you gotta make sure that, like we said earlier, these are advanced training techniques. So if you're new to the back squat, you're not gonna wanna use this, especially in the way that we're utilizing it, where you're just dropping down and exploding back up. But the goal here is to stay tight the entire time. Don't really bottom out, you wanna stay nice and tight. And it's really all about overcoming basically that velocity out of the hole and exploding back up through it.
Is that where you'd say most people get stuck, is in that pocket? Yeah. And this is kind of helping to create.
Yeah, so one of the ways that we use 1 1/4 reps, number one, we'll put people through a progression where we're not using that as basically a speed movement where they're gonna drop down fast and come out. They're gonna control it there. And really we're utilizing that to basically work on strength out of the hole. And then this would be even a more advanced technique when they're starting getting stronger in the hole, their knees are tracking properly, then we would actually let them drop down quickly and try to overcome that force.
If you guys aren't advanced, we have other beginner workouts as well. Go check out some of those. These ones are if you've been working out for a while and you know what you're doing.
All right, the last exercise we're gonna be showing you guys today is the same variation, but doing it with a pull-up. So this one for sure, you're not gonna wanna do unless you are really good at pull-ups. So I would say you need to be able to do 10 to 15 strict pull-ups at least before you do it. You're gonna do a pull-up, you're gonna pull all the way up, control it all the way down, come back up to a quarter rep, and then drop and explode back up. Good. The intent on this is everything. So if you're just moving slow and coming back out, you're not gonna get as much out of it. It's gonna tax those type 2 fibers, and so you're gonna burn out way quicker. So if you did a set of these slowly, you'll notice that it's not that difficult. It's just more time under tension. But if you actually focus on letting yourself drop to full extension and overcome that, it's really gonna elicit that stretch reflex and tap into those type 2 fibers, and you're gonna burn out way faster.
So you might think you're going down all the way, but until you bottom out completely on it, you have no idea how far that full range of motion is. And I think that's one thing is, again, as bodybuilders, we're kind of always keeping the tension on the lats. This is letting it go all the way down and immediately exploding back up. And that plyometric type principle attacks those type 2 fibers big time.
Again, that's one of the reasons too why we're only doing a quarter rep on this. Because if you were to drop from the top and try to overcome that, it's gonna be super dangerous. And just like your body weight moving that big of a distance is gonna be really hard on your shoulder. So that's why we're just utilizing the quarter rep. And we're able to do something like a pull-up where it's really heavy and still get maximum benefit out of it.
Guys, hope you enjoyed these advanced principle techniques. We're gonna be doing a lot more of these. And if you guys wanna check out a full upper body day of working out with these principles, click the link in the description. One thing Jake and I are also talking about doing is I'm trying to talk him in, you know, with these advanced style principles, athlete program. We got the NFL Combine coming up. I want to do something that's going to be really fun to watch while exploring how these athletes train and maybe seeing how big Jake does against some of the Combine numbers. So if you guys want
You're not doing it with me? I thought you were doing it with me.
I'll spot you. We'll see how my back does. I'd like to do it too, but you know, I know Jake would smash some of these numbers. So if you guys want to see him and I do that, more so him, smash the like on this and then give it a subscribe if you guys haven't. We're gonna have a good time with these, and definitely check out that link in the bio.